So for tonight's dinner, I am having a spaghetti squash with some steamed vegetables topped with some cauliflower Alfredo, and I got this all from the Simply Vegan cookbook, which I will have linked down below. But let me tell you how I put this all together. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you want to steam your cauliflower. So I steamed it for about 10-15 minutes, and then I transferred that to my blender. So now to your blender, you want to add 1.5 cups of unsweetened almond milk, 1/4 cup of silken tofu, the juice of half of a lemon, 2 tablespoons of Dijon mustard, 1.5 teaspoons of onion powder, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1.5 teaspoons of sea salt, and then some black pepper. And then you just want to blend it up for about 2 minutes or so, and it gets really cream and really smooth very quickly. So blend it up. And I did meal prep this ahead of time on Sunday, and so this meal preps really well because it was really good the day I had it for dinner. So now you want to just put your spaghetti squash in a bowl and add in your steamed vegetables. I didn't show you guys this on camera, but I did steam up my vegetables. And then you just want to top it with the Alfredo sauce, and this Alfredo sauce is 0 smart points. It makes 6 servings, so when I put it into the recipe builder, it was 0 smart points, so yay for that. And then I topped mine with some avocado just so I could have some healthy fat. And again, it may not be the prettiest dish, but you guys, this is so good. Definitely going to make this cauliflower Alfredo again. And my son had it with pasta and he really liked it as well. So for tonight's dinner, I am making a sheet pan black bean home fries. So this is also inspired from the Simply Vegan cookbook. So in the original recipe, he just uses russet potatoes. I am using the mini golden petite potatoes and also sweet potatoes. So in this bowl here, you see I have some sweet potato. I have 9 ounces of sweet potato, and I have a whole pound of the golden petite potatoes. To that, I am adding a sliced up bell pepper. And then I'm adding in some red onion. And now I'm topping it off with some black beans that have been drained and rinsed. Now for the spices, I'm using some 21 seasoning salute. Again, I just did the spices a little bit different than what was in the original recipe. Also to that, I am also adding some ground cumin. And then also adding in some chili powder. And you guys know I hardly ever measure my spices, so just do them with whatever you think, what kind of spices you need. And then I'll also just mix those up then with some tongs, so I'm just getting it all mixed up. And the original recipe called for 3 tablespoons of olive oil, but I'm just using 1.5 tablespoons. This measuring spoon I'm using right here is a 1/2 tablespoon, so I'm just doing 1.5 tablespoons of olive oil. And again, just kind of stir that around, and we're going to put that on our sheet pan. So I am just spreading all of that on the sheet pan. Doesn't that look so good? I just love all the colors. That's one thing I'm really enjoying about this plant-based eating is all the pretty colors. So now you're going to bake this in a 425-degree oven for about 15 minutes. Then you want to kind of toss it a little bit, and then you're going to bake it for another 8 to 10 minutes depending on how done you want everything. And here's what it looks like when it came out of the oven. So nice and crispy and looks really yummy. Now I wanted to serve mine as a bowl, so I just have some romaine lettuce in the bottom of my bowl here. And then I just divided the recipe up into 6 servings. And I will have how many points it was here on the screen. I believe it was 5 smart points for this. And I'm topping it with some cilantro and then some pico de gallo. And there you go, there is the finished product. So for tonight's dinner, we are having veggie and brown rice stir fry. Again, I got this recipe from the Simply Vegan cookbook. As usual, I will have the cookbook link down below in the description box. So in this recipe, there was a recipe for the sauce, and then for the stir fry itself, I did pre-make my brown rice on meal prep day, so that made this meal super easy. Okay, so let's get going with the sauce. So you're going to need 1.5 cups of vegetable broth, 4 tablespoons of soy sauce. I used coconut aminos, 2 tablespoons of ketchup. I used the low sugar ketchup, 2 tablespoons of minced ginger. I just used the squeezed ginger, 6 cloves of garlic minced, and then 4 teaspoons of cornstarch. So you're going to put all that into a bowl and just mix it up and set it aside. Now you want to start frying up your veggies. So I just sprayed some cooking spray in a skillet and added in some red onions that I chopped up on meal prep day. And then I added to that some bell pepper that again I chopped up on meal prep day. So my meal prep is so good, you guys. So just want to saute that up until the onions and bell peppers are nice and soft. At this point, if you're using fresh vegetables, you would want to add them also to the bell pepper and onion. But since I'm using frozen vegetables, I wanted to get those crisp, get those kind of tender a little bit first before adding in my vegetables. So now I'm just adding in a whole lot of frozen vegetables. This is a blend I got from Costco that has cauliflower, broccoli, yellow carrots, and orange carrots. As they cooked down, I kept adding more and more and more because I knew I wanted to have extra for my lunch the next day. So once those are nice and tender, then you want to add in your sauce. And so I just, give it a good stir to make sure you get that cornstarch mixed up in there, and then just pour it over your mixture and just cook it until it is nice and thick. I would say it took about 4 or 5 minutes or so before the sauce kind of thickened up. So in my bowl here, I have a mixture of brown rice and riced cauliflower. So I have a total of 2/3 of a cup of brown rice. The rest of it is riced cauliflower. So this is 4 smart points for this part. I will have the points for the entire meal on the screen at the beginning of this clip because I have not put the sauce into the recipe builder yet. So this made 6 servings, so I just portioned that out onto my rice, and there you go. There is the final product. I was going to add on some avocado, but I forgot, but I did add on some fresh green onion. So one of the nights this week I was supposed to be having a baked lentil falafel bowls, but I was not feeling well that night, so I went ahead and put the falafels into the freezer. But I want to show you how I put those together because I did make these on Sunday meal prep day. So I just want to show you guys how they are put together and how they turned out. And I will tell you, I did try them and they are super, super good. So I do recommend this recipe as well. And this also came out of the Simply Vegan cookbook. So for the falafel, you're going to want to get some cooked lentils. I did cook these myself. You need 15 ounces. You can also use a can. That's what the recipe calls for. So just pour those into a bowl. To that, you want to add a 1/4 cup of ground flax meal. I just used golden flax meal. Then you want to add in 3 cloves of garlic that's been minced. And then it called for a 1/2 cup of chopped fresh parsley. I don't like parsley, so I just added in some fresh cilantro. And then you want the juice of 1/2 of a lemon, and then 1 1/4 teaspoons of ground cumin, as well as a 1/2 teaspoon of sea salt, until my bowl was a little bit wet, so it was hard to get out. And then you just need some black pepper. Now you just want to put everything into a large bowl, mix it well to combine and mash it up. I did try to use my little meat masher here, but it didn't work very well, so I'll be honest, I went in and used my hands. And then you just want to form each falafel bowl using just a heaping tablespoon of dough, and then just place the doughs on a baking sheet. I am using one of those Silpats, so if you're not using a Silpat, then you want to make sure you probably spray your pan with some cooking spray. And then you just kind of roll each ball, and then you're going to flatten it after you get all your balls made. So you can see here I'm just flattening each of the balls, and then after that you want to spray the tops of them with some nonstick cooking spray. And you're going to cook these in a 425-degree oven for 10 minutes, then flip them over and then bake them for 10 more minutes until they come out crispy. And this is what they look like when they come out. And like I said, I did try one on Sunday and they are super good. So there you go, guys. Here are a few of the meals that I had during my week of plant-based eating. I hope you enjoyed these recipes. Like I said, most of them came from the Simply Vegan cookbook, which I will have linked in the description box, and I will have all the points for everything here on the screen. So please let me know if you enjoyed these recipes and if you will be trying some of them yourself, and I will talk to you all in the next video. Bye, guys.